Welcome, everybody, to New Orleans and the iconic Caesars Superdome, the long-term home of the Allstate Sugar Bowl, which this year, of course, is part of the college football playoff. We've reached the semifinal stage, one last hurdle to clear before that national championship game. And today we're going to find out who's got the toughness and the depth to continue their drive to keep championship dreams alive. As we'll see the number 5 seed in this playoff, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the top-seeded team in the playoff, the Appalachian State Mountaineers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined by Kirk Herbstreit. It's been a tremendous college football playoff so far, and it's down to this, the semifinals. Which team will head on to the national championship game? The kickoff team is out there, and here we go with this playoff semifinal game. And the kickoff will be returned. Returner brought down. Sets up the next drive. Mountaineers offense begins this game backed up. That was not a good return. Well, the energy in this building, Chris, is just going to pick up as the Sugar Bowl unfolds. As they say in New Orleans, le bon temps brûlé. Let the good times roll.
And really one of the more hostile environments, I think, when it comes to bowl games. You know, I've called so many games in here. Think about the history. Going all the way back to 1935, they played the Sugar Bowl right here in New Orleans. I think a lot of people have associated this bowl game with the SEC. But as we've seen since the start of the playoff, teams like Washington, Ohio State, Clemson, among others, have made this trip down here to the Bayou.
Important second down play coming up. On the shotgun, it's a handoff. In the clear at the 25. Using a strong stiff arm. Forced out of bounds after a big gain. This offense set up with a first down.
How about setting the edge there on the right side of that offensive line? I wouldn't be surprised if they keep going back to the well, pounding it behind that right guard and right tackle and tight end, seeing what additional damage they can do.
He's brought down, but a solid gain moves the ball across midfield to the 41.
Boy, how about that play, Chris? That thing just opened up. The back shot through there with great acceleration. What a pickup there on first down.
They're going to run it here. And he's able to find some room before they finally bring him down.
Chris, if I'm not mistaken, this guy's already over 30 yards on the opening drive of this game. Another nice play right here. If this defense can't stop him, just keep feeding him the football.
Handoff from the shotgun. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior.
You know, in that era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense has countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage, not give up big run plays.
That's an RPO caught on the left side. And he went backwards after the catch. That'll set up a 4th down now.
Man, really good job here by the defense, flying around, recognizing the ball is out, and then making the tackle short of the first down.
Oh, it's picked off. What a play. Going the other way. Can they stop him? Out past the 30. So a great return following the pick, or finally able to get him down.
Wow, what a play by this defense to come up with the interception. And a big return. They almost take it to the house, but you got to give the quarterback some credit. Yeah, he threw a pick, but he didn't give up on the play and hang his head. Instead, he makes the tackle to prevent the defense from scoring.
The Bulldogs will line up here on first down and goal. There's the snap. They'll set up the throw. Touchdown, Georgia. This quarterback on fire today.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath, just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
Fields it just outside the goal line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. So the Appalachian State offense back out on the field now. They had some good things going on the last drive, but it ended suddenly with the pick. Let's see what they can do here. It's a shotgun run call. They'll tackle him right at the 25-yard line.
Because I just love to see this offensive line in this running game able to establish themselves. This back is already over 50 yards. We're in the first half, so really good job of establishing the run game. Opens up the play action, opens up one-on-one opportunities. Just keep winning the battle up front.
Big guys up front lined up. It's first down. Handoff here from the shotgun. And that gained enough for a fresh set of downs. Spotted at the 48.
Nothing better than an offense on first down to be able to pick up big positive yards like that. You can either keep giving it to the back, or it can set up play action and get the defense to come up to the line of scrimmage, and you can throw it over top of them.
A pop pass on the jet sweep. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4.
You know, a lot of times these types of plays either go for nothing or they can go for a huge chunk of yards. Here they do a nice job of getting it to the outside, turning it upfield, and ended up getting a nice gain out of it.
Run quickly, caught in the right flat. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of the first down. Offense breaks the huddle and gets set. It's 3rd down. They go with a direct snap. Nowhere to run. They'll corral him for no gain.
Well, the defensive line does their job eating up those double teams, freeing up the backers to make the play.
Offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires. Here we go on 4th down. Tackled after a solid gain. It's enough for a first down, and that should wrap up the first quarter of play. Well, Kirk, it's Georgia on top so far. And the first quarter is in the books. What is a huge opportunity for both these programs to get a step closer to a national championship. We expect the teams to have worked through some of the nerves of this playoff game as we begin the second quarter. So here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. From the shotgun, handoff inside. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. And they don't block the defensive end and show some quickness, Kirk, getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package. Not only can he pressure the quarterback, but also he is very, very talented. It shows you the physicality he has against the run as well. Well, this defense has been incredible all year long, and they continue to be that way in the postseason. Just getting after this offense, whether it's putting pressure on the quarterback, great coverage downfield. Right now, they are dominating this game.
Fresh set of downs for the offense after that first down completion. There's the handoff.
Chris, it's the consistency of this back is giving this defense fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
Come up on 3rd down. Solid drive. Defense trying to get off the field here. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. And the defender gets that hand in there to break the pass up.
It has been a tough first half in this playoff game for this offense. They cannot get anything going through the air. Not only are they down the scoreboard, but there's really nothing to build around as we get ready to go into the second half.
Running out of time in the pocket. And they've got him behind the line. The 2-point try fails, and they can't get any closer. The defensive penalty is declined. Offense very happy to take the result of that play. This line getting set up. It's a first down play. The back's got it. He's wrapped up nicely there by the freshman.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound, and it's really solid defense on that play.
Second down after that run in the previous play. Fakes the handoff here, looking to throw it. They pressure him and sack him. He'll be tackled inside the 10.
Well, the offense tries to go with the play action to slow this defense down, but they weren't buying it. They applied the pressure and came up with the sack.
Quarterback escapes the pocket and takes off. Finding some room at the 25.
Son of a bitch.
And they make the tackle, but that's a huge chunk play on the scramble. He saw an opening and just went for it. Georgia getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
Chris, I think we all kind of get caught up in third down. What's an offense doing on third down? But I think what's also important is how well you defend first down. If you can hold your opponents to a short gain or a tackle for a loss, you throw the offense out of whack, and their game plan gets much more challenging to try to come up with that first down.
Offense operating from the pistol. On third down, he drops to throw. That one is incomplete. The defender was right there, and it brings up 4th down now. The Bulldogs will send their punt team on the field. He's on to kick it away, helping his team with field position. He's got some daylight, turning on the speed. He's brought down, but a good effort to make something of that return. So we've reached the 2-minute warning as this offense tries to take the lead here before halftime. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the run here. Lets it go. With the junior quarterback inaccurate that time. Threw it behind the receiver. Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. Tackle, but 1st down.
Boy, just a great play by the running back here. Just finding his lanes and exploding through the gap when it opened up.
And that run, good for 1st down yardage. The drive moves on. Handoff taken, heads off right tackle.
Hey, it's a great job of this defense containing the running game. But if I'm calling the plays, I'm not abandoning the running game just yet. I think it's important to have some sense of balance. So throwing and running is essential. Stick with it.
Running back has it on a screen now. Defense flies in. They make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
The offensive line does everything they can to try to protect the quarterback to give him enough time to find an open receiver. But there's nobody there downfield. He ends up throwing it to the back. But how about the speed of this defense? Now, you're looking at a 3rd down.
So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. 3rd and long. Looking for the wideout. Makes the catch downfield. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks. More than enough for a 1st down.
Chris, there's a lot of pressure on this offense here early in this game. They're down early, 3rd down and long. Nice job of protecting. The last thing they want to do is have to punt this ball away. So instead, quarterback has time, nice throw, and it's a 1st down.
Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain that run game, holding just at 2 yards. Chris, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. The guy calling the plays at 2nd and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air instead of staying on the ground.
This is the 6th play on the drive. Quarterback looking to throw it on 2nd down. Makes a quick catch. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a 1st down.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get into the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
1st and goal. Can the offense punch it in and tie the score before the half? Here's the snap. Looking to throw here. And he scores. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
Perfect timing here by this quarterback. Great read, puts the ball where his man can make a play on it, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's up and good. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. Return starts from inside the 5. And the returner steps out at the 16-yard line. Here comes the first play of the drive. Can they do something in the final 30 seconds of the half? And the running back takes the handoff. And the freshman brings him down quickly. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Chris, we wondered all week what this matchup would look like. So much at stake in this win-or-go-home game. And we've been treated to a fabulous first 2 quarters of playoff football.
The kickoff team out there now to get the second half underway. He'll return it from inside the 5. He stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. And the powerful Georgia offense is back out on the field. Here's the first play of the drive now to begin at the 19. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. And he's brought down, but they went backwards after the completion. Good work by the defense. Short loss on the play sets up second and long from the 18. There's the snap, and he's looking to throw. Catch made over the middle. The defense grabs him after the completion. He's just short of a first down. So from the 28-yard line, it's a third and manageable here. It's a quarterback keeper. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4.
That's how you tackle.
The Dogs will line up to kick it away. Looking to kick it away for the second time. He's going to try to return the punt. And he'll be forced out of bounds after a small pickup on that return. The Allstate offense goes back on the field. This has been a struggle so far for both offenses. Can they finally get something going here?
Struggling to put points on.
They'll hand it off. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
That's my
Chris, what I love here is just the vision by the running back. Showing great patience. The hole opens up, and then he's able to use his speed to pick up some good yards.
Crosses the 30. Oh, and he breaks free. It's a foot race. And he finally goes out of bounds after a huge gain on the ground. Nice play. Fresh set of downs. First and goal. Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Touchdown, App State. That puts them on top in the second half.
Well, that's a well-oiled machine right there. Everyone on this offense has been a star in their roles. When they're rolling like this, results in quick and positive results. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And they stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. And the Bulldogs offense is back out on the field. They're coming off a quick 3 and out, so looking to put something together on this drive with a little more urgency. Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. Lets it go. Physical delivery, that one falls in.
I almost screwed that up.
Well, these guys just continue to struggle throwing the football. You know, whether it's been running the wrong route, the quarterback not being accurate, the offensive line not doing their job. It's been a collective effort, and it's a big reason why they're trailing now in this game.
Get that boy down. God,
So from the 28-yard line, it's a third and manageable here. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Looking to scramble now. He'll avoid the big hit with the slide.
Well, Chris, that's a great example of why we see these college football coaches bringing in baseball coaches to teach these quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy? Make sure he doesn't get hurt. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and then pick up the first down.
Play action here on first down. And the junior able to get home with the sack.
Well, that takes the wind right out of your sails. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressure and a sack against their quarterback.
We'll see if they can overcome the sack. Second and very long. Bringing pressure. Pressure comes, and once again, no escape.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying a lead.
There's a screen pass to the running back. Well, the screen doesn't produce a first down. Good work by the defense. Now it's fourth down. The Dogs will have to kick this away. He's on to boot it away now. Fielding the punt, looking to improve field position here. Good effort by the return man. They get him down, but that's a solid gain on the return. So the Appalachian State offense back out on the field now. They punch it into the end zone the last time. Let's see if this defense has made some adjustments to stop them this time. First down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? Looking out throwing here to start the drive. And looking for a big play here. They cannot connect on the deep ball.
The defense has got to do a better job of communicating. That is a wide open receiver. They catch a break by an errant throw by the quarterback.
Incompletion sets up a second down. Quarterback drops back. He's going to take off here. Breaks loose at the 45. That big gain moves the ball across midfield all the way to about the 36. The offense operating at peak efficiency. They come to the line again. The pre-snap motion from the offense. First down. We're going to throw the football. Receiver looks it in. It's complete.
Quarterback looks downfield to make this throw. He wants to be able to get the ball to be able to pick up enough yards for a first down. But instead, he gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route and gets some positive yards.
What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Makes a quick grab. Tackle made after the completion.
Love the timing here between the quarterback and his receiver. Pick up some positive yards. I continue to be impressed with just the chemistry between these two.
Terrible snap.
To the marker.
Terrible
Tackle
snap.
What
the hell was that?
Maybe this stop is an indicator of what's to come for this defense. The offense, frankly, has been able to enforce their will in the first half, but maybe things are starting to change.
Fourth down. He's throwing for it. He's got it. Enough for a first down. They make the tackle, but he easily gets first down yardage, and the drive keeps going. Big pass. Here comes a jet sweep.
Oh, get the fuck
And the
out
tackle
of
is
my way.
made as time runs out in the third quarter. Appalachian State has the lead here. And as we reach the end of three, time is running out in this crucial contest for both these programs to stay alive in the quest for a national championship. Let's check out the game summary before we move on. Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter. Handoff as they try to work the clock here. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. Looks like a player is down injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check it out. Crucial. Third down coming up in the red zone. Can he keep the drive going, or will he have to settle for 3? And the back now goes in motion. quarterback in the shotgun here on 3rd down. Snags the quick throw. And they stop him just short of the end zone. The offense set up with a 1st and goal now.
Well, the defense gets these guys to 3rd down. They got a chance to get them off the field, and instead they give up the 1st down. So the clock will continue to move, and the defense is...
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Mountaineers. That's an old-school leap, just up and over the defense into the end zone.
That running back needs to find the picture of that touchdown. Up into the air. He can frame that. It's a nice score to remember.
Now the kickoff team is out on the field. And he takes this from inside the 5. He'll be tackled at the 27. That's where the drive will start. And the Georgia offense is back out on the field. The last drive stalled. They were forced to punt it away. Let's see what they can come up with this time. Quick throw, catch made on the out route. And he's out of bounds after gaining decent yardage. That completion makes it 2nd and medium. And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. The short completion of the tight end. And the gain just good enough for a 1st down. The Dogs hustle to the line to run the hurry up.
Hey, it's a nice gain here. They get the 1st down to stop the clock. But late in the game, trailing by a couple scores, these receivers have got to be thinking about getting out of bounds as often as they can to preserve that clock, to give them a real shot to come back to win it.
Georgia setting up for the 1st and 10 now.
Chris, watch him work through his progressions here. Finds the 1st and the 2nd option aren't there. By the 3rd option, he's got to pull it down and try to pick up some positive yards.
Oh, my God, that was my fault.
And that deep shot is caught for a big gain. And he takes it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Kirk, you look for rust. You look for jitters in the opening drive. Not any sign of it for that offense.
You know, the offensive coordinator, when we talked with him this week, he had a feeling that this offense was going to be able to start fast, but I don't even know if he thought they would look this good this early.
What?
And he makes the 2-point conversion. The lead cut down to 6. Now they get set to kick it away. And it's field, the returner trying to create good field position here. And he's brought down after a solid effort on that return. The Allstate offense goes back on the field. He hands it off from the gun. He shreds the tackle. Brought down after a solid run by the senior.
Chris, good job here on that stop, but remember the ball is inbounds and the clock keeps moving here late in the game and you're trailing. As a defense, you got to start thinking about utilizing those timeouts. You got all 3 to use. At what point are you going to start putting those into play?
They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. So the offense with the 1st and 10 now. The football placed exactly at midfield. Direct snap to the back.
Oh, no.
Gets the 1st and still running. He's taken down, but that's a nice gain. They'll spot the ball now at the 35. 1st down here. Time for one more play before the clock stops for the 2-minute warning. So the clock stops as we head into the final 2 minutes of play here. This defense needing to step up and make a play now. And the handoff towards the right tackle. Oh, what a move. Finding space at the 20. Touchdown, Appalachian State. This offense cannot be stopped.
He was on my ass.
Well, that's why you practice right there, Chris. This offense had the pressure, the game on their back. They deliver, they get a touchdown, and now make this a 2-possession game with under 2 to go. Like their odds of closing this game out.
Coach makes the decision to go for a 2-point conversion. From the shotgun, drops back looking for an open man. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
A great job here by the defense on this conversion. Nice heads-up play to prevent the 2-point try.
He's going to return it from near the goal line. And the returner brought down by the coverage team. And the powerful Georgia offense is back out on the field. 1st down, looking to throw the ball. It's a quick grab. They bring down the receiver, but that's a nice gain on that play. And the coach quickly calls timeout after the play, trying to hold on to as much time as possible. Here's that defense shifting again. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. Looks downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. Takes it out to the 44. That's good for a first down. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. Caught quickly. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion. They'll crank up the tempo here with the clock ticking down. Second down. Looking to throw it again. Pressure is coming. Using his legs here. He'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve as much clock as possible. Looking to throw it on first down. He's running out of time here. He just throws it away there. Safe move. Had nobody open. Second down after the incompletion. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Along the sideline, but it's incomplete.
Chris, on this play, he has nobody open. It's better than taking a sack. He doesn't get intentional grounding because where he threw it, there was an intended receiver. I think there's no harm, no foul here.
Lofting it toward the left sideline. Fired into a tight window and picked off. Follows the pick with a nice return before finally being brought down.
Well, this defense has been great the entire football game here. They knew they had a lot of pressure on them in the playoff. They stepped up and played well all game long, and now they get a critical interception here late in this game.
Defense is coming after him.
God!
The sophomore making an impact play. Now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. From the 15-yard line, it's second and long. And he drops back in the gun. Airing this one out toward the sideline. Trying to go very deep there. Good effort. Now it's third down.
Most offensive coaches will be happy taking those 50-50 shots against man coverage, but I'm curious to see if they're going to test this DB again after that coverage.
Wow, back-to-back deep shots. And it's intercepted with a desperation throw here. Going the other way, can they catch him? And look at the return after the interception. Sets the offense up in good shape.
Wow, a risky call by the offensive coordinator, playing with the lead in the playoff in the second half, throwing the football. I don't disagree with it, but now you give this defense a chance to create a turnover, and they capitalize here with the pick.
Looking to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Dogs.
This offense has done what's been asked of them. They get the touchdown. Now it comes down to, can you recover the onside kick to give yourself a shot?
PAT is good. They slammed into the kicker. Penalty markers are down. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Formation would indicate they're going to try the onside kick here. And the receiving team makes the recovery. The hands team does its job perfectly. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. First down play call. How aggressive will it be? Motion by the back. Defense better adjust. They'll go with the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. A solid 8-yard gain brings up a 2nd and 2. Oh, it's snapped to the back. He shreds the tackle. They tackle him. Looks like it's going to be just short of the mark, inches away. And a timeout is taken with just 1 second remaining in the game.
They're going to bite me in my ass.
An important third down attempt for this offense.
They're going to fumble it. They're going to pick it up
on the ground. And they wrap him up and bring him down in what is the final play of the game. Well, that's a great performance in the pressure moment, but now the job.
No surprise. On to the natty.